Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. This is the daily for Bitcoin. Let's see what happened yesterday and what it might happen next. So we saw yesterday, of course, in the daily close where we got, of course, a potential ending diagonal. Currently, we get kind of like confirmation that this might be the case scenario. But we still need, of course, a little bit much more evidence that we are looking for higher. I'm going, of course, deeper inside it. So, but let me explain what's going on. So we have potential 1, 2, and another 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, if we are in a wave 4, which is, of course, the wave 4 in the white scenario, you might see, of course, an expanding flat. A, B, and a C, especially that this looks, of course, 3 waves zigzag toward the upside. We're looking for something impulsive, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 121K, 120K. However, this is a signal that we're still looking for higher because, of course, an expanding flat is a corrective way. And, of course, we're still looking for higher since the trend line is toward the upside. Now, in case we are bullish from there, we're still also looking for higher in an ending diagonal. But let me explain what is this ending diagonal. If we get, of course, this ending diagonal, meaning that the wave 5, wave 3 has finished, of course, over there. And that means, of course, it is an extended wave 5 for a wave 3. And then we're gonna look for another wave 4 later on as corrective. And that means, of course, we might expect another correction downward for a wave 4 and a 5 one more time. Of course, to finish this impulse 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, finish, of course, over there. Your wave 3 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 ending diagonal. And then, of course, wave 4 and a wave 5 to finish up, of course, this impulse toward the upside. So these are the possibilities on the lower time frame here. And if we want to seek, of course, after a target, so since this target is hit perfectly, basically if we are looking for a target for a wave 5 here, we might reach, of course, the following target, wave 5 in diagonal, which is, of course, the green box here, that it might be between 125, 126. Currently, the highest possibility is for the diagonal, of course, because we see, of course, a rebound right now. And if this rebound continues for higher impulsively, it is preferably, of course, to consider the ending diagonal. Breaking this trend line from the highs here taken as parallel to this low, meaning, of course, this wave 4 is, of course, longer than the wave 2. Once this happens, it's a broken rule for the diagonal, which is not allowed, meaning, of course, we're heading to the next blue box in confluence between the 121K 500 and 120K 500. 15-minute chart on the micro level here. We are looking for something, of course, corrective, obviously, because if you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, wave 4 interfered, of course, with the zone 1. Now, if you want to consider also this as kind of an ending diagonal or leading diagonal, in case it is a 1, 2 here, well, it's a little bit hard to call it, of course, because, yeah, it's a very complicated diagonal. I would say this looking 3 waves, and this looking, of course, impulse, and this is an impulse. Therefore, I don't see it, of course, as a diagonal, even that, because the structure is not really nice for it. It should be, of course, all of them impulses or all of them zigzags. And that means, of course, that this might has transformed to something, of course, very corrective. It can be, of course, an ABC, or it can be, of course, an A B, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, maybe one more leg. Of course, preserving the trend line, as I mentioned, as a diagonal, and then start the move toward the upside. It can be even finished internally, and we start, of course, to move for higher here. Obviously, this is a finished impulse. It can be an A, B, and a C. You can count probably here also. Potentially, you can call this like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as diagonal internally. As you can see, the wick over there can be, of course, a diagonal wave A, wave B, wave C, as well as a zigzag finished short wave C. And here we go. We move toward the upside. So signals are there. And of course, as this rebound looks impulsive somehow, we start to see a 5 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the 5-minute chart. you would like to see three ways down, continuation towards the upside, breaking the high, and of course kind of like confirmation for higher 1-to-1 fib level to be tested. If we move down, okay, it's again corrective. If we break it, we simply continue for the blue box towards the upside. This is how we gonna, of course, walk with it step by step and to see how we can come back for a new all-time high. I'm expecting, of course, a wave 5 to take the 126k, and of course a price breaking the 1-to-1 fib level, meaning we are much more impulsive, but I doubt it. Why? Because if you have here a three ways up, you cannot be really in a 1, 2, 3. Yeah? So very likely we're gonna bounce back, of course, in this area for a corrective wave, wave 4, as explained on the lower time frame here for this wave 2. Wave 4 might still be unfolding something deep because, of course, you have a long sideways. We might see a zigzag wave 4 and then moving toward the upside later on. Yep, so this was it for Bitcoin for the 2-hour chart. Let me also remind you about the scenario, the highest possibility, not all of them. I'm just gonna go with the highest possibility scenario on the daily, and this is gonna be the following. So currently, of course, you can be in the following scenario, which can be an A, B, and a C. The wave C is still unfolding as 1, 2, 3. You can have a deeper wave 4 and a 5, meaning you have topped here almost for a wave 3. The target for a wave 3 is 126k and 129k. So it still can, of course, reach this zone area. And especially that we are looking here at 1, 2, and potentially 3, 4, and a 5 can be finished impulse. Or it can be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. And this, of course, is an A, B, and a C zigzag for wave 3, potentially looking for wave 4 later on, and then wave 5. Still can be, of course, looking for higher for Bitcoin. So this scenario is going to be long with us, if not broken. So if we see a deep downtrend here, is still going to run with us. We're going to have to test another wave 4 on the daily and then wave 5 later on. And the next scenario is the following: 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, very possible scenario as well, knowing that the wave 4, yeah, looking a little bit longer than the wave 2, but still can be possible, yeah, in diagonal, where you might have this potential diagonal. It is contracting at the end, right? And we are in a wave 5 currently. So if this wave 5 is unfolding here as a diagonal, ending diagonal, you have hit the perfect target. Okay, we have hit the perfect target, and of course in a zigzag again, because you have potentially zigzags here, and you have another zigzag for wave 3, another zigzag for wave 5. And that means, of course, it can be very likely that you are in an ending diagonal. Now, of course, there are some exception here in a wave 4. Sometimes a wave 4 is allowed to be a complex, not always zigzag. I got this comment from someone that the wave 4 is not allowed to be something like a flat. It can be one of the wave 4 and a wave 2 is allowed to be a complex in a diagonal. Okay, it's not all of them that they have to be a zigzag, but one of them is allowed to be a flat or a complex structure. All right, and basically 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, the same scenario, or 1, 2, 3 short, 4 and a 5 extended, finished in the blue box, and we drop down. So yeah, both highest possibility are, of course, ending diagonal in this zone, and we're looking for a rebound, maybe in a wave 4 in this case. But in this case, of course, you might have topped, and we might have start a bear market. We might have topped here because this is your final wave 5. Don't forget, a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This wave 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending diagonal, finished zone 1 here. And then, of course, we drop for a major wave 2. But we're gonna see, of course, step by step, guys. That was it for Bitcoin the Daily. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.